Super. So let me start. Well, we are World Academy for Research and Development, and we are a UK-based institution. Currently, we are operating in more than 50 countries, and the number is growing actually, and we are having very good responses all over the world, wherever we are operating, due to our curriculum and the courses we have provided. So to keep up with the quality of the education, we have the ISO certification of 21001 as per 2018. Now, just to give you a glimpse idea of what the ISO 21001 stands for, it is the Management System for Educational Organization. In short, it's EOMS. And these are a few of the principles we have to maintain in order to keep up with the quality of the education we are providing globally. Moving on to a couple of our affiliations and international recognitions for different international institute. As I've said, that we are operating in more than 50 countries, it's 57, and the last time I remember, it's go up to 61 at the moment, and the number is growing. We are also the member of American Accreditation Association, an approved center by Cambridge Academy of Professionals UK, approved center by ProfQual UK, and Board of HR Certification UK. We are the approved provider of HRCI, SHRM, and ATD USA. If any one of you are aware of the HR industry, well, SHRM is one of the pioneer in setting HR standards for global operations, and therefore being aligned with SHRM, a couple of our programs are also academically aligned with the institution as well. We are accredited institute by the International Professional Accreditation Council Singapore and member of CPD Certification Service UK. And currently we are partnering with Singapore Training and Development Association, Institute of KPI Specialist, and Academy of Business English and Communication. So this list is also growing as we are proceeding with the training programs. And that is all from my part regarding the introduction of World Academy. I would like to give the platform to Krishnan sir to carry out the orientation for the CCFA program. Sir, please carry on. Thank you from my end. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Just hold on. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Hi, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we can see you square.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. I'll just move on. Yeah. Let me just start off this corporate finance analyst program. Hang on. Okay, my name is Param. It's actually Parameswaran Krishnan. You can call me Param for short. Okay. Give me a second, yeah, because my screen is giving me a little bit of problem. I am currently a consultant trainer with NT Business Consulting, providing training for finance transformation and project management. I have a degree in accounting, a bachelor's degree from University of Malaya, which is based in Malaysia. I'm a member of the Malaysian Institute of Accountants. I have more than 30 years experience in the financial FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods and manufacturing sector in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. I worked in Malaysia, Singapore, and also Indonesia. I have done training while I've with KPMG Pete Marwick. I've conducted several training sessions which included managers, executives, non-executives in the areas of finance, IT, and supply chain management. Okay, so my key area of focus is supply chain management, finance, accounting, project management, change management. Okay, what does this program cover? Yeah, let's look at basically the course outline, the course overview. Okay, this program basically provides in-depth exploration of the key concepts and tools that are going to be used in corporate finance. Okay, we will start with the introduction of financial statements. I'm sure you know what they are. The balance sheet, basically the P&L and the cash flow statements. They will okay, and you will learn how to analyze these statements and also assess the company's financial performance and make informed decisions. The key is informed decisions here. Now, acquisition of the skills basically will enable people like yourself to be better equipped and appreciate the company financials, help make better decisions, and you will provide at least a competitive advantage to enable to contribute positively to the organization's goal. Okay, corporate finance focuses on finance essentials that are required to run a business. Yeah. It will include things like fundraising. That means things like whether you want to raise your funds by borrowing or you want to raise your funds internally by issuing new stocks and shares. Okay, then it also consists of internal cash management and how you're going to deploy those funds. Okay, and then whether you're going to use it for dividend payment, whether you're going to use it for capital expenditure by acquisition of equipment, plant and equipment, or you're going to use it for investments. Okay, so these are the core issues that corporate finance will address. Now, financial decisions are basically fundamental, yeah, to corporate finance, and we will look at the different sources of financing that are available to companies. You will learn in depth about different types of financing, equity financing, and also the trade-off between them. That means, should I borrow or should I raise capital internally? These are the things that you need to. So with the opportunity to understand corporate finance, you will have the opportunity to make optimal financing decisions. Now, please stop me if you have a question in between. Yeah. Now, basically, it also involves effective management of current assets. What are current assets? You have your cash, okay? So, do you have sufficient working capital to be able to do your day-to-day operational business? Do you have sufficient inventory? Do you have sufficient liquidity so that you can maintain operational efficiency? Okay, so we will look at working capital management, cash flow analysis, inventory management, and also accounts receivable management. So these are things that you will be looking at. Capital budgeting techniques will also be introduced. Okay, you will have things like net present value. These are tools or techniques that you will use to actually do capital budgeting. Okay, so you've got things like NPV, which is the net present value. It's a technique that you use to do capital budgeting. You have IRR, that is internal rate of return, and you also have a very simple approach, payback period. We will cover those in details, but the fundamental difference between, for example, net present value and the IRR is basically the fact that we take into account the cost of money. Okay, whereas in the payback period, we don't take this into account. Okay. So you will identify the functions, benefits, and challenges of and also mergers and acquisitions. That means you will need to look at whether you want to expand, and mergers and acquisitions will involve things like organic mergers and chemical mergers. Organic mergers are growing, is the company growing within itself, and chemical mergers are you acquire another company which is either of the same business or of a different business. Okay. Yeah, you understand the key components of corporate finance and the main activities. Understand the objectives of financial management. This is basically the learning outcomes. That means what will I get at the end of this program? That's what you have to ask yourself. So you will understand the key concepts of corporate finance and the main activities, which I just earlier mentioned just now. things like equity financing, debt financing, current sound assets management, things like that. Okay, so you will understand the objectives of financial management. You understand structure of capital markets. Okay, so whether you would go and borrow within by issuing new shares, or you want to go and borrow from the banks, or you want to issue bonds, these are options available to you. You will understand the fundamentals of finance and accounting, of course. You understand the structure and purpose of financial statements. So we will look at the balance sheet, the profit and loss, and the cash flow statement. You will understand what are the purposes of these statements and what is the information that these statements provide you with. So you are able to better appreciate and see how you can use that information and make informed decisions. Okay, you will identify and explain the components of financial statements, okay, which we will discuss in detail. You will recognize the purpose and significance of financial statement in assessing the and the financial position, profitability, and the cash flow of an organization. Okay, you will interpret key elements of the balance sheet. What are the things that you look at in the income statement? What are the things that you look at in the balance sheet? What are the things I look at in the cash flow? For example, cash flow will tell you what are your inflows of cash and outflows of cash. So it basically explains your liquidity position and also your working capital position. Okay, so and also we will learn some ratios, which will include liquidity, profitability, efficiency to assess the financial health of any company, for example. Okay, you have these ratios will there's a formula to it. You will use those ratios to calculate, and you're able to draw some conclusion as to the financial stability or ability of that particular company. Analyze financial statement using current ratio. These are different types of ratios that you will come across. Okay. Now you will evaluate the solvency of the company. When I talk about solvency, I want to say whether the company is solvent. Does the company have money to operate on a year-to-year basis? Does it have money to operate on a long-term basis? So you will calculate things like debt to ratio, debt to equity. These ratios we will talk in detail. So I will just mention these ratios will be used to actually determine the solvency of the organization. Okay. Of course, we mentioned earlier, we look at the operational efficiency, like inventory turnover. How fast is your inventory turnover? That's a formula for calculating inventory turnover. How fast is your receivable turnover? That means if you sell at to your customer and you provide 30 days credit, is the money coming in within the 30 days or it's not coming within the 30 days? That is what is we meant by receivable turnover. Okay, so these turnover ratios will help you identify where are the areas you need to look at. For example, if you have receivables turnover that are very slow, that means your money is supposed to come in 30 days, but it's not coming in 30 days, it's 60 days. What steps do you need to take to improve the cash flow situation in your organization? Okay, of course, you need to manage your current assets, which includes cash, inventory, receivables, to optimize operational efficiency, because this is your day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year efficiency. Okay, the financing decisions by considering optimal capital structure. I mean, how much of debt should I have? How much of should I borrow, or should I raise the capital within my within the company itself through shareholders by issuing new shares? So you come up and make a decision on what should be my optimal capital structure. Okay. And of course, you will need to calculate what's the cost of debt, and then you have things like cost of equity. How much does it cost me to raise the money? And then you have concepts like weighted average cost of capital, which we will learn, and also this enables us to assess the investment financial feasibility. Okay, so of course you have to make investment decisions using capital budgeting decisions. Okay, you apply capital budget techniques like we talked about NPV IRR payback method to evaluate investment projects in terms of its profitability and viability. Okay, these tools that, or these techniques that you use for NPV IRR and payback are a quick mechanism or tool that you use to evaluate to see which projects you should embark on or should not embark on. Okay. Okay, let me look at the last one. The other one is mergers and acquisitions. The various types shows the ways of capturing value drivers through mergers and acquisitions. Okay, we will cover it in detail. Now, what does this program cover? Yeah? So this program has got 8 modules. Okay, so the first we will talk about introduction to corporate finance. What is corporate finance? Okay, where does it play a role? How does it play a role? Okay, the objective of corporate finance is to enable you or the management to make informed decisions. Okay, module 2 will cover financial statements and analyzing the income statement. So you will look at all the key financial statements with the balance sheet, the income statement, and the cash flow. Okay, and you will analyze the balance sheet, the income statement, like I said, and also the cash flow. So module 4. Module 5 will be the sources and forms of financing, whether you want to borrow internally or whether you want to borrow from a third party or whether you want to borrow from a bank or whether you want to issue bonds. These are things that you need to consider. Okay, of course, you need to calculate the cost of capital and the capital structure. Cost of capital is how much does it cost you to borrow. So you need to take into account the interest rates that's going to be offered, the real interest rate to the company, and what capital structure do you want to have? How much of debt do you want to have? How much of share capital do you want to have? So you need to find the right balance so that you are enabled to make a call of the capital structure of the company itself. Okay. And of course, financial analysis of capital investments and strategic initiatives. And lastly, module 8, which is actually mergers and acquisitions. So this is what basically this particular program will cover. It consists of 8 modules as specified here. Now, what is the program methodology? The program methodology is interactive lectures to focused presentation like we're doing now. Okay, it will be via Zoom. You will be provided with course notes, and of course, you will have the opportunity to share your experience and also share my experience. And of course, we will provide you relevant videos that will be appropriate for this particular program. Okay, and then there's participant discussion and interaction from me, for example, because I conduct this program, and we will provide constructive feedback. So this is how this program is going to be approached. Okay, now the question is, what does a corporate finance analyst do? Okay, if in a nutshell, if you look at it, a corporate finance analyst actually works normally in a financial organization. In large organizations, the corporate finance department is separate by itself, but in smaller organizations, the roles are combined with financial accounting itself. Okay, the whole idea of the corporate finance analyst is he has to support management. Okay, he will have to support management so that management can make management decisions. Okay, the key is they have to provide them with actionable financial information. That means the information that you provide to the management will enable the management to take the appropriate action. What type of borrowing should I embark on? What kind of capital structure should I undertake? So what does it basically involve? So what you have to do is you have to collect all the information and data. Okay, and you have to organize the information in a structured manner. Okay, and then you have to do some projections and forecast what will happen if this happens, what will happen if this does not happen. Okay, so you have to take all those scenarios into account, and you basically build some financial modules, and you make recommendations to management, and who will digest the information that you provided, and they will make the call as to how they want to go about undertaking their corporate financing activities. Okay, so you need to provide some graphs, you need to provide some figures in terms of spreadsheets, so that the figures are all sensible and then the management can take. So the whole objective is to be providing, to help support management decisions by providing actionable financial information. Now, what are the skill sets you need to have? I mean, to be a corporate finance analyst, you need to have certain skill sets. Yeah, you need to have accounting skills for sure. So you must understand accounting. Okay, you need to have financial literacy skills. You need to have some form of analytical skills. That means you're able to look at various different scenarios. You need to have some kind of financial modeling. These are not very highly technical skills, but these are skills that you'll be able to pick up very quickly. Okay, of course, interpersonal skills, because you're going to deliver it to people, and that is coupled with communication skills and problem solving skills. Okay, whatever that you present does not necessarily be accepted by the management. There will be questions and asked, so you must make sure that you have the skill sets to address those questions and provide the necessary answers so that management can make a final call. And of course, technical skills, which means accounting, financial modeling skills, okay, and leadership and management skills. Okay. Now, that's basically, in a nutshell, without going into much gory detail as to what corporate finance analyst does and what this corporate finance analyst program entails. I told you earlier, it consists of 8 modules. It covers all the analysis and understanding of all the financial statements, which is the balance sheet, P&L, cash flow. It looks at understanding ratios. It looks at the inventory position, the cash position. Okay, it looks at the capital structure position. So this is in a quick summary. I can tell you what this program is all about. And those of you who are keen on wanting to acquire the skills and understand and play a role as a corporate finance analyst, I strongly recommend that you attend this course, because this course will equip you with the tools and skill sets that you require to play an effective role and support your financing activity in the organization. Now, I'll stop here. If you have any specific questions, you can ask me. I can address them. So I leave it to the floor as of now. I will stop sharing my screen.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much. If there is any question regarding the curriculum, you can ask Krishnan sir about it. And regarding the structure of the course, I will be able to answer it. So we welcome any questions from the participants. Actually, there are some participants who have already enrolled in the program.
Yes.
And
Hello.
there are who have shown interest. Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Suleiman, please go ahead. Who would you like to address the question to?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Well, can we take questions one by one? I think Mr. Koroma was the first to ask the question. I think.
Okay, no problem. I'm fine with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is Mr. Koroma there? Okay. I'm going to put Mr. Koroma in mute for now. And Mr. Sheriff, you can ask your question, please.
Well, it's about the access to materials. You know, I was part of the CPA program, and there was a portal system. I do not know how that system has been activated, whether it has been activated or is yet to be activated. So how do we access materials is my concern.
All right. So it's going to be the same as previously, the learning management system. You will have the access to the platform. You will be given ID and password. And if you have done a course with us before, we will be using that same platform as well. If you lost your ID and password, you can connect to the administration and collect it from them. So that's going to be all right, I guess. I hope I have answered your question.
And also you will get the YouTube channel where you can find the video tutorial as well, how to operate the learning management system.
Okay, no problem. I think that is fine. And the other thing is about I want to ask this question. It goes specifically to the tutor. So because I want them to know what corporate finance generally is about, because you can see we have all the aspects of finance. There is something about financial management. There is financial literacy about what corporate finance generally is about. Is it only based on companies? Because I've seen the learning outcomes in relation to the capital budgeting and working capital management and so on. So what corporate finance actually is about, you want to know that, because I think much has not been said on that, so that other participants can understand that. Thank you.
Okay, let me have just try to answer this question. I'm Rupok Zaidi on behalf of World Academy. Actually, corporate finance here, we meant that the financial activities, financial transactions, financial reporting within the organization, within any company, because the financial management is a very vast area. Once it is being applied in an organization, how organization want to look this, how a person who is working in the organization as an accountant or financial manager, how the person will deal with all the transactions, all the reportings, all the activities of finance and accounts within this organization. That basically the corporate finance.
Thank you.
Can I just add this a little bit for you?
Please, sir, please.
Okay, actually, corporate finance focus on finance essentials, yeah, to run a business entity. Okay, that means it includes things like fundraising activities, internal cash flow management, and the deployment of funds. And do you want to pay dividends? How much of dividends do you want to pay? And you look at whether you want to make a capital expenditure decision. Do you want to buy the equipment? When do you want to buy the equipment? Okay, and you also look at investment decisions. Okay, so it's very specific. It's not fundamental accounting transactions. Okay, it is based on the information that is provided by the transactions within an organization, and you collect those transactions and you extract that information from the financial statements of the company, which is the balance sheet, the P&L, and the cash flow statement. So you will have information in there that will enable you to make decision as to funding requirements. Okay, whether I want to make any investment decisions. Okay, whether how do I want to pay dividends or don't I want to pay dividends? Do I want to make any acquisitions? Do I want to do any mergers? Okay, do I want to make any capital expenditure decisions, or do I want to participate in any investment activities? So this forms the core of corporate finance, okay, which is fundamental, which is very broadly enclosed in financial management, because financial management includes a lot of other things. Okay, all right, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the inputs.
Yes, thank you, Lamin Ture. So you spoke about corporate finance, is information that you give to management or assess health management to make decisions on financials. So how is that role also different from an accountant? Because accountant and finance managers, this is similar thing they do. So how can you differentiate between corporate finance analysis and an accountant?
Okay, can I take that question? Hello.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Oh, okay. Now let's. It's a chicken and egg question, yeah. To be able to do corporate finance work, you must be an accountant. Okay, but it does not mean that as an accountant you do corporate finance work, because corporate finance work is a very specific area of finance, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, an accountant does a lot of other things. The accountant does the accounting. The accountant does all the transactions, whether I should treat this as an asset, whether I should treat this as a liability, whether I should treat this as an expense, whether I should treat this as a revenue, or whether I should treat this as equity or what. So these are the fundamental accounting transactions that basically an accountant will do. Okay, so if you function as a role as an accountant or what they call as a financial accountant, okay, your role is to make sure you keep the books, the accounting books, and make sure that all the transactions are accordingly recorded and appropriately classified and recorded in the various components of the organization itself. Okay, now corporate finance differs from that in the sense that after all the information has been put in by the accountant, then this information is in the form of transactions which are then translated into balance sheet, which are then translated into profit and loss, which are then you have a cash flow statement. By looking at these statements, the corporate finance analyst will extract the information that is necessary, which will enable him to provide information to the management so that management can make some informed decisions, okay, as to whether what should be my debt equity ratio. Should I borrow more? Should I or raise my funds internally? So the role the corporate finance person plays, which is actually a similar question what the one was asked earlier, is slightly different. Okay, so the accountant's role, if you look at it per se, traditionally is basically to keep the books, okay, to make sure all the transactions are properly classified and taken into account. Okay, whereas the corporate finance guy will extract the information that is found in these financial statements and then provide information to the management so that the management can decide, okay, do we have to borrow money? Do we have enough funds to run our day-to-day business? Is our operational efficiency sufficient? Do we need to borrow money? Who do we borrow from? Do we borrow it internally from our shareholders or do we borrow it from the bank? So these are the things that are different as far as a corporate finance person does. But and more often than not, a person who's a corporate finance guy is also an accountant by training. Remember, I talked about the skill sets. If you need to become a corporate financing analyst, one of the skill set that you must have is accounting skills. Okay, so an accountant plays a key role as a trained accountant to play a corporate finance analyst. That's it.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Here is Julio from Mozambique. I would like to know if this program is applicable for those who are working in NGOs. Did you get me, sir?
Yes, it is also applicable for NGOs because of there are in NGOs there are also financial transactions, there are also financial decisions. So wherever the financial decisions is, you need to have analysis, you need to know the terminology, the information interpretation, application of different ratios, etc., etc. So all will be discussed here. So am I correct?
Yes, correct.
So any other question from anyone else?
Yes, please. Can I ask a question, please?
Please.
Yes. I'm Mohamed. I'm from Sierra Leone. Good afternoon from my end.
Yeah, tell us, please.
Yes, yeah. Well, I want to know whether the slides or the presentations will be made available to us for further references.
For the orientation slides.
Yeah, the slides here.
Yeah, we can share. We also share the orientation video as well, so that you can also understand later on how the course depth is, and also if you feel that you can also share through your network so that people can aware about it as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from anyone?
Yes, can I? I'm sorry for.
Please.
I just hello.
Yeah.
So like somebody asked a question about corporate finance and accounting. I think like just what the teacher said is just an addition to that. corporate finance is about generally sources of funding and the capital structure of corporations. I think I see it as a kind of, or as a subset under financial management, more or less under the sources of finance. Because when you look at the sources of finance, you may encounter that we have debt financing, equity, venture financing, and different sources of finance. So corporate finance is sent in that direction. That is why the title said it's a finance that has a direct relation to corporations or institutions. So it deals with the sources of funding and the capital structure for corporations. And accounting generally is a language of business because all business transactions are expressed in accounting terms. So the issue of recording, classifying, analyzing, summarizing, communicating these financial transactions to users of financial statement is also what accounting generally talks about. So the issue about accountancy is based on recording and the other variables like classifying, summarizing, and so on. It's just an addition to what the tutor said for further clarifications.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Anything else from anyone? Want to know anything? All right. So if there is no other questions from anyone else, we can conclude it here. Before conclusion, Nazmul, when the class will be starting?
It 27th of April.
27th. I mean the coming week, coming Saturday, the first session.
Yes.
So our humble submission to you, as you have already aware the depthness of the course, the benefits, the insights, the learning points. So if you feel that the course is really beneficial for the professionals, you can share through your timeline in LinkedIn and Facebook so that your network will also be aware about it. And if anyone is interested, they can also join with us. That will be helpful for you and for us as well. So with that note, we can conclude it here today. Hope to see you in the session. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.